Okay, real quick, guys, it's going to be grade school time again here. We're going to the classroom, going to the chalkboard. I was going to bring sidewalk chalk so we had real colorful time of it here, but I forgot. Recently, well, in the last 4 to 6 months, I've been absolutely inundated with offers for sponsorships, partnerships, collaborations, what have you, with small companies wanting to sponsor my videos. Even when it was like 8,000 subscribers, this kind of started, which I was surprised at, and it was E-Manuals Online. I was like, you sure you want me? You know, I don't even have 10,000 subscribers. And oh yeah, we like to get you guys that are, you know, more and more members all the time or whatever, but not that it's growing that fast. But I was kind of blown away, first of all, but I went to their website and they just, none of my vehicles that are my project vehicles, they had manuals for, you know. It's a very rare occasion where I have a, sorry, I'm kind of stuffed up here, where I have a modern enough vehicle project that I could even use them for. So I said thanks, but no thanks, you know. But, oh my, I'm a little warm and moist apparently. That's hopefully the most disturbing thing I'll say all day. I've got several options the way I see what guys do here on YouTube. Memberships, Patreon, and I'm going to do sponsors. Memberships, you basically keep lining YouTube/Google's pockets. Okay? That would be the biggest negative as far as I'm concerned. If there's anything Google perhaps doesn't need, it's more money. But what I like about it is it keeps it simple for me. Patreon, I know absolutely nothing about other than the fact that a lot of YouTube channel creators use it for people to support, to send money, channel money through Patreon. Now maybe it's a better percentage than YouTube offers, but if Patreon's a thing, it means they're making money on it somehow, so they have to be taking out a percentage for themselves of the money that goes through them. Sponsors and partnerships. I don't like them because they are annoying, right? If you just have watching regular YouTube, you don't have YouTube Premium or whatever they call it, you still have ads, right? And that can be very annoying. And then when the video creator signs on with sponsorship, with a partnership, then they are obligated to make ads during their videos, and that could get annoying. Now, there are some that are very good at making it funny and interesting ads, but for the most part, kind of annoying. And the biggest negative for me, when I do not know anything about the people giving me money, is I would be held accountable to their ideals, their whatever. I am a white conservative Christian straight, shall I say, man. I'm the least popular entity on earth right now. I would be held accountable for things I say and things I do and things I believe. Perhaps, you know, I don't know, you never know. So that makes it very unattractive for me. Now, if we had, there are companies, of course, mostly small businesses that certainly do hold the same ideals, the same beliefs as I do, but I would have to be very sure before I said, oh yeah, let's do it. I would have to be very sure we were on the same page. Basically, if I have to shut my mouth about certain things doing this, then I'm not going to do it. Plain and simple. So, for now, certainly not doing that. I would have to be 100% sure they were on board with everything I'm doing. Patreon, I don't like change. I don't like new technology. When I get a smartphone, or when I get a new phone, when I get a new computer, a new operating system, it is my least favorite in the world. I just absolutely can't stand transferring things, making things more difficult, having to learn a new program. It's my least favorite. Some people thrive on getting new phones. I recently just wanted to change my email address, which there again, Google was involved, and I lost half my contacts in my phone. Somehow, of course, all the contacts are connected when they're all Google-driven devices, you know. But I don't like new things, you know. And then I have another account. I have to keep track of another password. I have to keep track of another entity, the money, so forth. So I don't want to get something else involved, is what I'm saying. So right now I'm not doing that either. So right now I'm going to offer to you memberships. You go to my channel homepage, you can click the join button, and for right now it is $2.99. And basically, if you choose not to do that, life will go on with my videos, with my channel as you know it. Those of you that do join, you will get extra content. Now, what is it mostly going to be? Perhaps the stuff that I think, hey, I should make a video about that, but no, it wouldn't maybe be of general interest or whatever. Basically, it's just going to be spending a little bit more time with me if for some sick reason that's what you want to do. So, you're not losing anything if you don't do it, but you are gaining something if you do. Okay? So for now, that's an explanation. That's my thinking. I just wanted to involve you in that because I think you really need to know. This is kind of a family affair, really, you know. So if you feel so inclined, just know that I am absolutely grateful, I am honored, and I am humbled if you feel like you want to become a member here. And once again, I will do my best. That's all I can do to make it worthwhile to you. Well, this looks just like a barrel full of fun, doesn't it? So recently we went over to one of my wife's aunt's house, and she's one of the older in the she would be second oldest in the family of the kids. She invited us over for Sunday dinner, you know, and she was trying to get rid of some stuff out of the garage, and she had this planter, I guess that's what this is, full of the old farm toys. These are toys that my wife's dad and his brother would have grown up playing with, and whoever else, and I think we got some homemade stuff in here too. Learning to use the welding with the torch, it looks like, and so forth. Back in the day, back in the probably late 50s and during the 60s, so I just thought it'd be fun to dig in here and see what we got. Some of this, I think, like this, is a little later. I don't know if we have anything else that would attach that to something, but kind of cool. Let's take a look at what we got. And another cool thing she's got is, well, she's always, as long as I've known her, she's always driven, you know, late 90s, early 2000s, Buick, you know, the Regals, the Centuries, whatever, the bubbly, the curvaceous Buicks of that era. And but she still has, I hope I'm not wrong, but she probably bought it brand new, a 77 Cutlass Supreme, that is still just beautiful inside and out. And it was still being used, you know, on a infrequent basis maybe 10 years ago, but it really hasn't driven, maybe 10 to 12 years. Really hasn't moved out of the garage since then, and she expressed a desire to get it up and running again. And you know, certainly not my favorite era of cars, but that one I could get into. I like that car, and it's just a really, really nice one yet. And so hopefully someday she will get serious about wanting to get it running, and hopefully I can bring you along for the ride. Anyway, here we just got your Tonka dump truck without the front wheels, but the dump shock still seems to work. And the tailgate latch is still there, so front axle and tires on that, clean it up a little bit. You know, it's got a little rust to it, but maybe we can get her going there. And then I imagine we got an Ertl Allison 190, huh? The good old days. Let's see, I already showed you the little backhoe Ford. I don't know if it's working quite right. Yeah, it's moving, but it's slow. Something doesn't seem quite right in there, which I'm not surprised at. But that's kind of cool. Just need a way to hitch her up. A true scale bale elevator, huh? Yeah. This kind of looks more like dumping grain. That kind of thing. The belt's missing. I guess that's the hitch to pull it around with. It's still got the string on here to raise and lower it. I don't know if there's a lock on there, if it's just seized up. And then your little crank to run your belt. What else we got? Oh, got an International. Dad-in-law said he put the duals on here, so he's got machinery screws going into the other tires there. A couple of our front wheels are down. Our tires have seen better days, and we're missing the steering wheel. But other than that, you know, she's good to go to the back 40. McCormick Deering hood emblem. Sure. And we got, well, we got frames for something. I don't know if they kind of look like they belong on a Caterpillar or something. But we just threw some wheels in there, you know. Whoa, okay. And then we got wheels. We got wheels. We got more wheels. We got more wheels. We got wheels. We got wheels. We got wheels. Oh, here's something interesting. More wheels. Wheel. 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 Now, isn't that cute? A little gleaner. It's got to be an Ertl, looking at the wheel there. It's the front Ertl wheel or rim that they put on their tractors, you know. Yeah, there we go. Ertl Company, Dyersville, Iowa. That's cool. That just needs another wheel, and you're good to go. I might have to try to track one down in here, huh? Oh, then we got an Alice crawler, but she's down. Tracks are missing. What was that? A tricycle pedal? Some factory wrench for something. Highway Emergency. Who made this? Is this a Tonka? Let's see here. No, it's a Nylint. You know, things are a little worse for wear, but she's on all 4 feet, so that's good. I don't know if you're seeing any of this, to be honest with you. So that's cool. Oh, then we got a Tonka stake bed truck here. Now that would probably be a good candidate for a full restoration, wouldn't it? That bed has seen better days and looks like it's been hauling cow manure. Oh, and then we got the trailer for it. Look at that. I don't have a wide enough angle on this camera here, but where's the hitch? How do you, was it hitched there? I don't know. I love the white walls though, you know, that's pretty cool. Yeah, what else we got in? Alright, I pulled her back a little bit, hopefully you can see a little better. I don't know, look, we got some. Looks like someone was on their way to making their own 3-point chisel there or something. They got one shank on there. Imagine that was Dad-in-law. Then he's got a road starting there with a scraper. A blade. Oh, we got a harrow. Harrow with a custom hitch there. Well, maybe that is factory. Got another harrow. Now that is just, you know, was that a start of a tricycle sprayer? I don't know, but it's cool. Another harrow. Got an old plow. International plow. That thing's pretty good shape. Yeah, hitches there. The wheels there. It's just kind of old. We gotta hitch that up. Honestly, come here. Yeah, we're gonna need the duals. Oh, tractor hitch is missing, but we'll just pretend, you know. Where's my John Deere? Is it? I don't see it. Oh, now we got a John Deere here. We gotta do some deep plowing. There we go. We got no tracks again, but okay, well, you know, that's, I don't know what that springs from, but someone had a good idea there. And we got a homemade a bent bale spike. I don't know what they're going for there. Then we got a nice little truck trailer here. I don't know. Could this be a Structo or something? It's got no name on the tires that I see. I don't have the right cab for it, I don't believe. Oh! Well, that's a nail, so I'm guessing this is another homemade. You know, you want to flatten out the alfalfa field, so you can swather at high speeds. And we got another Tonka truck grill or whoever. A lot of hubcaps for probably tricycles and wagons. Oh, look, another tire. More tires. More tires. More tires. More tires. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what ET is. And then someone had a good little, you know, excuse me. Yeah. Looking good. And then last but not least, this came from the same lady, same house. I'm guessing maybe they never played with it. Or, you know, this was found later at a yard sale, or who knows. But I brought this home years ago with the purpose of ordering a new windshield and getting another tire to match, fixing that rear axle. And this would definitely be one that I would keep as is, you know, just fix what's wrong, clean it up, and do that. And then here I have several toys that were around in my childhood that were always stuffed up in the garage loft, and I could never play with because they were of this time period or even earlier, and just worn out, you know. That was back in the days when kids actually went outside and actually played. Oh, it's got a little, look at that. You can set the depth with that little thing. Now it's stuck, but look at that. So I have quite a few similar things already that I want to fix up and restore. Boy, they must have rolled that thing and it skidded, you know, just ground a little paint off the cab there, busted out the windshield, but I think everyone survived by the looks of it. So, if you go to my channel, if you hit, I think, toys, and there's a playlist called Toys and Something, restorations, or, you know, very popular videos is the Daisy BB gun I restored. I'll show you that because I have it right here. And this would be from the 1950s. Bought it for $1 at an auction. The plastic stock, it must have been sitting in a hot shed like this. So the stock was completely curved over, like it melted. So I cut all the cool plastic molded interesting things and made my wooden stock to accept them, and I epoxied them in there. I kept the original graphics as best I could. You know, they were pretty worn out. The kid's initials were scratched in it. And but yeah, she works good now. Got a bag down there. Oh, I think it was empty. Anyway, so if you haven't been around so long, you knew that I did that stuff. I've got a Ertl white case, as in when they painted case tractors white, restoration video. I fix up a similar tow truck. I've got that here. Just check it out. Here's this one. Found that at a antique store it was about $30. It's getting dusty again, but I had to buy an extra wheel and the light and cleaned it up, and this is how she looks. So anyway, if you like to have fun with that kind of thing, you can go check that out too. Well guys, this time around I was working here on the steering gear, trying to rebuild it for the 81 El Camino. and I just felt inspired to stop so as not to be a distraction and talk really quick about what's been going through my heart lately. And I would ask you for prayer in regards to this segment and these videos. That last month I talked about, or I mentioned throughout part of the thing I wrote, that about lifestyle choices, sinful behavior and so forth. And I really feel like I should go through so many of the hot button issues these days in the church, why churches are splitting, all these different issues, and why they are wrong according to God. At least what I find in the Word. And of course, there's a good chance I would become a target for any number of things, small or large. So, if you think about me over the course of the next month and beyond, I'd appreciate it, because all of us know that in this world these days, if you point out anything you think is wrong that other people are doing, they're going to let you know about it, right? So, and that goes for myself. But all that I have been thinking about the past month, all that's come to me, to be honest with you, is something I believe I had talked about quite a while ago. Could have been over a year, but an example I gave just rings my bell in the back burners of my mind. Paul wrote in Romans 3 that all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. We know that. And it just really has been speaking to my heart again about why people choose to turn their back away from the Lord, certainly away from the church, but even away from God, when other people don't live up to their expectations, and certainly when other people fail them. And that can cover a wide variety on a scale, simply fail them or downright abuse them, whatever that means. We all have imaginations. We've all been party to such things probably in our lives. I don't know. But I think it seems to me I gave the example that if you have a real problem with a vehicle, you take it to a mechanic and that mechanic really messes it up even worse. Do you write off mechanics altogether? Or do you go find one that he knows what he's doing? You go find a better one. And that's kind of an obvious analogy there. But yet when it comes to salvation, when it comes to righteousness, faith, living your life for the Lord, people are all too willing to turn their back on it completely based on the actions of other people. When God has, that's not in God's character. Sinning is not in God's character. Letting people down is not in God's character. But yet, when people fail people are way too willing to blame it on God. Makes no sense. We had a young couple about our age come to our church once, and he was, I'm going to say, Willie Robertson kind of guy, stocky, heavy, big old beard. I don't think he had long hair, but, big burly guy with beard. And it seems to me during the course of our young adult Sunday school, the young adult Sunday school, he kind of just checked out. Now, I used to not say much at all either, being an introvert and a listener. But I remember him with his hands behind his head, leaning back, just not really engaged in anything at all. And he did not return ever. His wife and son did, and his wife said he was offended because no one talked to him. Knowing the people in my church, seeing how they react when people come to church that don't normally, they flock to them usually and want to know all about him. So I can't imagine no one talked to him. More than likely he avoided people, but it was an excuse. He was fabricating an excuse not to have to come back, and his reasoning, his excuse was to just blame the entire church for not wanting to be there. So that's just kind of an example that came to me. Now, of course, that was on him, but there's been, plenty happens to people. Lives affect lives. From people that we know long term to passing to holding a door open down at the quick shop, for someone else. We all affect each other in some way. And we certainly can't be blaming God when bad things happen between two people. Now, Paul was obviously trying to bridge the gap between Jews and Gentiles, and that's a whole nother issue. Back then, the Jews were really trying to be controlling of this new thing called the Way, and they really wanted them to. So you had a lot of Jews converting to a belief in Jesus. The Jews were still wanting to really control and make sure they were still living within the law. Of course, we know Jesus came as a fulfillment of the law and to give us freedom through faith in Him. And what I find very, very unfortunate is so many denominations demand absolute allegiance to their church and their doctrine that may not even be found as truth within the Word. There are so many issues that are not based on salvation. So much of it can even be misinterpreted through the years, through different versions of Scripture and what have you. And they have built church rules upon them and expect everyone to follow them, and if you don't, you're out. And basically you are toying with people's salvation based on your preconceived ideas of who God is. Well, it's not even that. It's rules you've come up with, and you'd better follow them, regardless of the freedom that Jesus gave us. You're just being a Pharisee all over again. You're trying to do the same thing, coming up with the same sort of laws, and not willing, honestly, you are not willing to let Holy Spirit do His job in changing a person's heart. You want to force the matter and get it done here, making sure a person toes the line here. God's got it under control, So we just need to live the way Jesus did. The way Jesus showed us to live. People will yearn for that. They will hunger for that and long for that. If you are giving them the proper example, they will want to be there. Holy Spirit gets involved, and pretty soon that person's completely different. Let's stop Let's stop forcing other people into our own ideas and let God do what God does. That's all I can think of. That's what's been on my heart to share once again. Probably completely different than what I said last time, on similar lines. But anyway, I'm going to continue with the steering gear. Once again, I ask you keep me in your prayers for what I'm going to have to start writing up for next month, and because it's going to be real, So be thinking of me, guys. I really thank you for coming along. Most of what you see here is just absolutely impromptu, as the French say. Impromptu? I don't say it right. It's just me being me, doing what I'm doing, and I'm so glad so many of you find value in that, at least to spend this little bit of time with me. Once again, if you want more of this kind of excitement, you can go to my page, click the join button. $2.99 per month will get you a little bit more content. I will try to keep it going as often as possible. All I can do is my best. So, yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. God bless you. See you on the next one. I have no idea what went where. What a mess.